Hey guys, this is Toni and welcome back to Action for Aging, where we are tackling life's most underestimated season, the mature season, with intentional action and a big dose of self-love. If it is your first time here, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Also give me a like. Otherwise, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this season of life that we're in and whether or not we feel contentment, happiness, joy. What kind of label do we put on that? I do think there is a distinction between happiness and joy that is powerful and beautiful. I'm going to be doing a 5-part series. I hope you'll come back. Today we'll be doing part 1, and then we'll go through the other 4 in upcoming videos. And we're going to explore this concept of happiness versus joy and 5 things that are either hindering us from dwelling there or helping us to get there. If we're to be in a place of contentment, happiness, joy at this season of life, number 1, it benefits others because we can pour something beautiful and lasting out into the world, right? And number 2, don't we kind of deserve it? Haven't we lived a long time and gone through a lot? And don't we want that sense of contentment, fulfillment, joy, right? Well, there are some things that can either stand in our way or help us to get there. Today, I'm going to talk about stones. Now, in the Roman Empire was actually enormous, and something that was amazing about that and the ability to maintain such a large empire was the ability to travel from place to place within the empire, right? You can't have control over something that you can't access. And so they used stones and they built massive roadways for them to travel back and forth on. And when I think of stones, I think of a stone fireplace and how much I would love to have one. We don't have a fireplace at all, but if we did, that's the kind that I would like to have. But don't we pick up our stones and attempt to cast them at others? It's kind of wired into us. It's part of that fight or flight response, right? But here's the thing about picking up that stone in fight mode. Stones hurt others. And when we hurt others, we literally rob ourselves of the opportunity to feel deep, abiding spiritual joy. There's no peace. There's no peace when we know that what we do is an action that brings harm to someone else, right? So we've got to get to a place not to do that, to drop those stones, because we like to think we have it all together, don't we? And we do. We do have it all together until we don't. And that's all of us, right? We all fall short of God's glory. We all at some point are having a great day. Something happens, that fight or flight mode kicks in. And if we're not careful, what do? We pick up the stone and we're ready to fight. So I'm going to propose to you today that you give some thought to that and recognize where in your life are you tempted, or you actually do go into that fight or flight mode and you pick up that stone and you're ready to cast it at someone else. In John chapter 8 and verse 7, Jesus is in a scene where a group of men are gathered around a woman who has committed a crime that was believed to be completely unacceptable in her day, right? And they're about to stone her to death, which was a common punishment of the time. And Jesus is asked about this scenario that's about to unfold before him. And his response is, let he who is without sin among you cast the first stone at her. So when I think about how Jesus responded, let he who is without sin among you cast the first stone at her, I see a power imbalance, this group against the one, these men in society at that time against the woman. When we pick up the stone, we hold the weapon. There's an imbalance of power. It's not a great way to be right, is it? Now, I think that is profoundly powerful. We often do that. We often are ready to go into attack mode with people that we're unhappy with. And it can be something as simple as you're in the checkout line at the grocery store and you don't like the way things are going, or you need a refund and there's not one able to be given to you because it doesn't fit the terms or whatever. And we're ready to go 3 rounds, right? We're picking up that stone and we're ready to defend and fight. There's nothing about those scenarios that puts joy out into the world. In fact, I think we're left with maybe guilt that we try to suppress about the way we've conducted ourselves. And you know what that does? That robs your spiritual joy. It takes it right away from you, because somewhere inside of you, you know that you've been ugly, right? You've picked up that stone. And so you're robbed of peace, which robs you of joy. And part of the problem with that is we, especially when it's somebody we don't know, but even with people we do know, we don't know what they're struggling with inside. And when we come at them, we're increasing that burden. What would happen if we didn't pick up the stone? What would happen if we didn't get to be right? What would happen if we didn't go with our fight or flight response and we didn't feel like we needed to defend whatever it is that we feel we need to defend? Nothing bad would happen. Is it pride? What gets in the way, right? Literally nothing bad would happen. What we would do is that we would participate in an exercise in self-control. When we are in self-control, peace can kind of enter back into our circumstances and joy can reside in our heart. So my encouragement to you today is to think about, where in your life are you still in that fight or flight mode? Where, when you think about happiness and joy and contentment, might you be robbing yourself of an opportunity for peace? I would seriously encourage you, as I am doing with myself right now, and a lot of self-reflection, to just drop that stone. Give some thought to that. We're going to explore this idea of happiness versus true internal spiritual joy and see if by the end we don't have some points that we can think about to move us in that direction on a daily basis. Once again, my name is Toni. I thank you so much for stopping by. Leave a comment and let me know that you were here. I hope you'll go ahead and subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. That really helps me out and encourages me as well. And remember, you are special in this season that we're all in together right now, so act on it. We'll talk again soon.